healthcare power of attorney is a lifetime management tool. A healthcare directive, sometimes called a living will, is a document that addresses what kinds of medical intervention should or should not be brought to bear for you when you are in your last days. So a healthcare power of attorney allows someone to work with you regularly during your lifetime to pay your medical bills, get you the care that you need, make medical decisions for you if you can't. The living will, or the healthcare directive, only speaks to the end of life. And the idea with the healthcare directive is that you make the decisions about what kind of care you want to receive at the end of your life and take that burden off your healthcare agent. The healthcare agent is typically the person who would bring the living will to your providers and ask them to discontinue treatment. A spouse can be designated as a healthcare agent and have the authority then to make end-of-life decisions. But spouses aren't necessarily chosen. The idea is for each one of us over the age of 18 to decide who we want to have making medical decisions for us in the future and commit those choices to writing. If you had a spouse who believed in alternative medical treatment and you were ill and didn't believe in that treatment, you might not want your spouse to be your agent. You might want someone who feels about medical science the way that you do. Not because you don't love your spouse or that the spouse doesn't love you. But that's the issue, is how do you feel about treatment? Do you have any medical conditions that require care? Or can you look down the road and see that there might be some issues? So you want to choose someone that will address your medical care on the same basis that you would. As a spouse is next of kin, and in Washington State, if you don't have a written power of attorney and medical decisions need to be made, the doctors will look to your next of kin. That can be problematic, though, if you have a spouse, or maybe you have an ex-spouse and children, and maybe you have stepchildren. What if they don't agree? You can have conflicts within your family with people, all reasonable, hardworking, loving people, but who fundamentally disagree about what the next step should be for you. So again, to remove that potential conflict from your family, it's best that you make the decision and write it down.